I steal from what Andrew Ng is saying about AI. Andrew Ng, if you don't know him, he is a prolific person when it comes to AI. He was the one originally into the Google Brain team. He was the one launched the entire Baidu AI. He's the one co-founder of a Coursera. He's the one founding of or founder of two AI companies like Lending AI and Deep Learning AI, and then many other things he does as a person. But he's a very prolific person. I have a great respect for him, and a very futuristic thought leader, if I use that term. But this is what he said, that as electricity has transformed almost everything over 100 years ago, he thinks that we have a hard time figuring out which industry this will not get impacted, right? So it doesn't matter from where you are coming. Some of you are coming from the technology side of the house. Some of you are coming from the different engineering side of the house, like mechanical, or some of you are coming from public sector, or some of you are coming completely from a non-technical background. That's completely all right, because we will see AI having that impact. And some of that impact we will see today, where we are already seeing some of this impact. But I truly wanted to share this as a quote of Andrew and kick off the course. So with that, this is more about leadership, right? So when we are looking at leadership, I think about Simon Sinek. I mean, he's the author, he's the speaker, he talks a lot about what we as a leader should be thinking. And he has this golden circle of why, how, and what. And then when we are thinking from a leader point of view, we should always be thinking, start with why, right? And the same question I want to apply here today, just as a framework, that why we are here today, all of us, including you and me. And some of the reasons we are here today is because, for example, McKinsey has been quoting that, okay, generative AI, only generative AI, forget about the rest of the AI, could add 2.6 trillion to 4.4 trillion annually, right? And if we compare that annual dollar, the UK's GDP in 2021 was 3.1 trillion. So if it can replace or overcome an entire country's GDP just by applying generative AI and the value it generates, it's gonna make even more impact to the world. And some of the data which suggests that the productivity gain because of AI would be anywhere from 15% to a 40%. And we have seen some of those numbers. We'll come to that in a second. But this is like those who are old enough like me, in the early days of internet, certainly there was that momentum. And we are seeing, at least I'm in this industry for over almost a decade now when it comes to the overall data and ML industry combined. It's the shift happening. It's kind of we are seeing that shift happening, and then we are in that early days of that shift. So probably next 10 years, maybe next 15 years is where we will continue seeing that momentum, continue seeing that adoption. And who knows, that 40% productivity, what we are talking about today, may become 50, 60, or 70% productive. But there is a long way to go. And if you think that, hey, you are late to the party, you are not. We are just getting started from the party point of view. All right, so that's on the why. But you may question that how we got here, right? So the change, the only constant in life is change. So things are moving quickly. The changes are happening around us, whether we like it or not. And who moved your cheese comes in picture. So somebody moved the cheese, and then finally we are here. But it's a combination of things. It's more slow. Those in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley certainly have seen that every day, every week, every month, every year in the last 20, 30 years or so, where chips are getting smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller, and then the compute cycles are getting bigger and bigger, right? So that's the more slow. But at the same time, we have seen exponential usage of a compute via cloud computing, whether it's about AWS, Google, Azure, doesn't matter. But that cloud computing as a whole has allowed anyone to go and use the computer, use the servers, to use the GPUs to play with and start experimenting. COVID-19 plays in this one as well, because we all were literally stuck in our home, and we were generating tons and tons of data during COVID-19. And many of today's model, what we see, whether it's about, we talk about GPT-3, GPT-4, or any of the other models like Falcon or any other public model, are trained using public data set. And when we say public data set, it's typically consists of Reddit, Wikipedia, the entire internet, what all we've been posting on a public forums. So all of those things kind of curated and used as a data source to train some of these models, right? So definitely COVID-19 has a role to play. And there has been a lot of science improvement, right? I mean, you can have a compute, you can have a data, but if there is not science research improving, we cannot move faster, right? And then there has been a tremendous amount of breakthrough in this science happening, and we'll see some of that in a second or two. But those are some of the 4 high level things I would classify the reason we are here today.